My dear students, today I would like to discuss the previous year questions related to average speed. All the models that we covered. So in this case, to understand this one, let us go for the general formula here. Let us imagine a body travels distance d1 in time t1 and a distance d2 in time t2 and a distance d3 in time t3 and so on. So different distances it travels in different times. Then you know that average speed is nothing but the total distance traveled by the total time taken. You have to add all the distances and add all the times. The final formula is this one. Total distances traveled to the total time taken. So here, but if you observe here, it is said in this problem that a body travels half of the distance. A body travels first half of the distance with speed v1 and the second half of the distance with speed v2. First half, second half it is given, and there is no discussion of time in the problem. You can just see this is a bad time for us that there is no discussion of time here. So when there is no discussion of time, we have to replace the time from the formula. You all know the formula is going to be V average is nothing but d1 plus d2 by t1 plus t2. This is the formula. This is for n times, and this is only two cases are given, just that's why we write d1 plus d2 by t1 plus t2. Now, here if you observe, there is no discussion of time. So what you do? You have to replace these times. You know, how are you going to replace? You know v1 is equal to d1 by t1. So t1 if you take the numerator, v1 comes to the denominator. v1 comes to the denominator. So this t1 can be written as d1 by v1. Similarly, t2 can be taken as d2 by v2. So what I am going to do? First thing is I will be writing d1 plus d2 as it is, and t1 and t2 can be written as these formulas. So t1 means d1 by v1 plus d2 by v2. Next, d1 and d2 are nothing but d by 2 and d by 2 because half distances. A body covers half of the distance and next half of the distance is set. And the speeds are given as v1 and v2. These two are the speeds here. So now, here instead of d1 you will be writing d by 2 plus d by 2, and this is taken as d by 2 divided by v1, d by 2 divided by v2 because I am just replacing d1 and d2 with d by 2 and d by 2. That's it. So what I am going to do here, I will common out d by 2 will be getting 1 plus 1. I will be commoning this d by 2 will be getting 1 by v1 plus 1 by v2. So d by 2 gets cancelled. V average, you add them. Here LCM is v1, v2. Then after in the numerator you will be getting how much? v1 plus v2. If you take an LCM v1, v2, you will be getting v2 plus v1. So finally you will be writing V average. This implies that V average is equal to this v1 v2 goes to the numerator 2 v1 v2 divided by this is v2 plus v1, we can write it as v1 plus v2. So we got the answer, that is 2 v1 v2 by v1 plus v2 is going to be our correct answer, that is the B option. Similarly, we can go for the next problem. Here the same problem, the average velocity is asking, but he is representing the formula in a different style. So here is the general formula what we have derived just now. So here VA is given as V. In this problem, VA is given as V here. That's it. Similar, remaining things are the same here. So now we write V. This is 2 V1 V2 by V1 plus V2 as it is you write. These two you take here, the denominator, and the rest of the things is V1 V2 by V1 plus V2. You just make it reciprocal, that's it. So 2 by V is equal to V1 plus V2 by V1 V2. Partially you divide. This implies that 2 by V is equal to, what are you going to do now? V1 you take separately, denominator will become V1 V2 plus V2 you take separately, partially I am going to divide V1 V2. So V1 gets cancelled, V2 gets cancelled. 2 by V is equal to 1 by V2 plus 1 by V1. So it's going to be your formula. Sorry, this is going to be your correct option. Okay, hope you have understood this problem also. Next we can go for the next problem. So it is traveling first half of the distance with speed v and the next half of distance with speed 2v. That means it is given that in the problem it is given that v1 is v, it is given that v2 is 2v, and you know the formula, that is 2v1 v2 by v1 plus v2 is going to be our formula which have derived just now. So let us enjoy that. Let us see what is going to be obtained here now. Instead of v1 you will write v, instead of v2 you will write again 2v. v1 plus v2 is nothing but v plus 2v. So this is 4v square by 3v. v square v gets cancelled. You will be getting 4v by 3 as the correct answer. So C option is going to be a correct answer. Let us go for the next problem. There are two problems here. A car travels 200 meters. It covers first half of the distance with speed 40. Next half of the distance it is not given, it is taken as v, and the average speed is given as 48 here. So let me write the formula for the first problem. We know the general formula is 2v1 v2 by v1 plus v2. V average is given as 48 and v1 is given as how much? 40. So 2 into 40 into v, which is not given to us. We have to find out that v, and this is 40 plus v2 is nothing but v2 is given as v. Okay, so you have to simplify this. 48 into 80v by 40 plus v. If you cross multiply, you will be getting the value of v as 68 kilometers per hour. If you want, you can just check it out. Sorry, you will be getting 48 kilometers per hour. So if you find out, if you just cross multiply, you will be getting how much? V value will be getting how much? It is 60 here. If you want, you can just check it out. So v you are getting as 60 kilometers per hour. That's it. Okay, so next problem, we shall do this problem which is similar to the previous problem, just same, everything is same. So let me discuss about that problem also here. So in the second problem, it is given that v1 is equal to 40, it is given that v2 is equal to 60. That's what we are getting now. 60 already we got. Same problem, average speed he is asking, that means 48. Okay, it is just the same problem. Here v1, v2 is given, average speed is 48. There average speed is given, v1 is given, he is asking us to find out v2. v2 we get it as 60, here already 60 is given, 40 is given, and average speed will be how much? 48. If you want to just check it out, v average is equal to 2v1 v2 by v1 plus v2. 2 into 40 into 60 divided by 40 plus 60. That's it. So you can just keep it like that, only 2 into 40 into 60. This is 40 plus 60 is nothing but 100. Remove these two zeros here. So what is left now? Reading 100 here. So 48. 48 kilometers per hour is going to be our correct answer. Now a different problem. So a body travels first 2/5 of the distance. So this is 2/5 of the distance. So d1 is taken as 2 by 5d, and next with is speed v1, and next distance, that is d2. How much it is given as? It is given as 3 by 5th. It is 3d by 5, 3 by 5d or 3d by 5 with a speed v2. So here 2v1 v2 by v1 plus v2 does not work. We have to create a new formula here because it's a different style of asking the question. He didn't give half distance. He has given the different things, but there is a shortcut formula here. I will discuss the shortcut formula first of all. What you have to do is, you have to write v1 v2 by v1 plus v2 first, like that only you have to write. And here it is 2 and 3. 2/5, 3/5 means 2 plus 3 is 5. Okay, 2 and 3 is given, no? 2 plus 3 is 5. Again, crisscross method you have to do. Here you have to write 2, here you have to write 3. You get the answer directly as D option. This is the shortcut formula. Okay, so 2 by 5, 3 by 5 is 2 plus 3, 5 you have to write. And crisscross. First 2 is given, 2 goes to that side, and 3 comes to this side. This is a shortcut formula. But what is the general method regarding the concept what you are going to use here now? So you know V average is nothing but D1 plus D2 by T1 plus T2 is going to be the general formula, but there is no discussion of time here. So you have to replace the times with D1 plus D2 by D1 by V1 plus D2 by V2. Next what I am going to do, V average is equal to D1 means you will be writing 2 by 5d, and d2 means you will be writing 3 by 5d, and what is that d1 again? d1 means 2 by 5d divided by v1 plus 3 by 5d divided by v2 here. It's different. So v average is equal to common out d by 5 here. If you common out d by 4 are getting now 2 plus 3 are getting here also. If you common out d by 5, what is left now? d by 5 if you common out 2 by v1 plus 3 by v2 you are getting. So d by 5 gets cancelled. A simple way of calculation, 5 will be there. LCM is v1 v2, 1 2 v2 you are getting. So 3 cross multiplication here, 2 v1 v2. So v2 2 v2 and 3 v1, 2 v2 and 3 v1, 2 v2 3 v1. That's it. So this is the final solution. Thank you very much.